Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Welcome to Electro Drive News, where we're diving into the latest developments in the world of electric vehicles. Today, we're talking about a battle brewing in Europe between Greens and Reds, the European Union, and the automotive industry over the future of transportation. It seems like something's got to give when it comes to the EU's plans to make all new cars zero CO2 emissions by 2035. The Greens are pushing for a mandate that would force manufacturers to shift towards electric vehicles, but the Reds, or in this case, the automotive industry, are pushing back hard. They're arguing that this will be too costly and might even lead to economic disaster. But why are they being so resistant? Well, let's take a closer look at the numbers. The European Union and the UK have set targets for electric vehicles to account for about 80% of new sedan and SUV sales by 2030. Now, forecasters say that's ambitious, maybe even impossible, with some suggesting less than half of that is possible. And if we go back further, by 2035, no new internal combustion engine-powered vehicles will be sold. Now, let's talk to Ben Kybes, senior automotive analyst at Dataforce, who thinks the charging infrastructure is a major bottleneck. In general, he says, I don't see many options to accelerate BEV uptake beyond our forecast. Even with the rapid progress and cost regression we observe in battery technology, the main issues are local charging options to charge at home or at work. But there's good news on the horizon. New models, this year and next, are narrowing the gap between affordability, range, and charging convenience. And government regulation is forcing manufacturers to push electric vehicles into the market. So, what do the experts think? Bernstein Research says that after a surge in EV sales in 2020, fueled by government subsidies and tax breaks, European EV sales stalled in 2024 due to reluctance from buyers over affordability and range. The EU has also mitigated CO2 rules set to start in 2025 by allowing an extra couple of years for manufacturer compliance. But the question remains, will the EU be able to reach its targets? Bernstein forecasts that the rate of change slows down again, reaching 49% of sales in 2030 and 75% of sales in 2040. And Innovev sees 40% at most by 2030. In China, small, cheap, limited-ability EVs have captured a huge share of the market, with prices starting as low as $5,000. But here's the thing, will these cheap EVs like BYD Surf dramatically raise their market share in Europe? Ben Kybes doesn't think so. Even with the rapid progress and cost regression we observe in battery technology, the main issues are local charging options to charge at home or at work. He expects a much longer timescale for EV success, more than 20 years. Now, let's bring it all together. It seems like the EU is trying to find a way to balance decarbonization with economic welfare. And that's where things get interesting. Emissions Analytics CEO Nick Molden says he expects the EU to fudge its CO2 targets and allow hybrids to have an extended role. Europe will attempt to square the impossible circle of decarbonization and economic welfare, not by abolishing carbon targets, but by blurring them, he says. Bernstein Research agrees that a longer transition period or rephrasing of targets penalties is more likely because governments don't want to bankrupt their industries. And with the slower pace of EV adoption, there's a good case to be made to recalibrate with the ultimate policy goal in mind. So, what does this mean for us? Well, it looks like something's still got to give, but it might not be until 40 years from now that we see significant change.